Hey guys, it's Matt with Meat Church and welcome back to my outdoor kitchen. What's one of the most popular questions we get asked?
How do you reheat your brisket?
Let me show you two of my favorite ways. You guys know we have lots of brisket videos on our YouTube channel. Up here in the brisket playlist, we got pellet grill briskets, we've got traditional Texas style briskets, burn-ins, all sorts of stuff. And every time we put one of those out, there's always people in the comments asking what's the best way to reheat brisket. There's not really leftovers at the Meat Church, so I smoked a couple briskets and chilled them to show you my favorite two methods of how to reheat. And this is a really important lesson in my opinion. I always tell folks, when you smoke a brisket, I get asked a lot like, hey, it's just me and my wife, can I just buy the flat, not the whole packer brisket? And I say, I don't like a flat. I like how the brisket cooks together with both muscles. So I would buy a whole brisket. But no matter how much you cook or use, you should only slice off what you intend to eat. Brisket dies a really quick death. It oxidizes quickly. It dries out. So whatever's left over can be one big chunk. And I recommend you vac seal that and put it away. If you have to freeze it, whatever the case may be. So again, what I have here today are a couple briskets, and they're going to look slightly different. But I've got two briskets that I cooked just following my typical traditional Texas brisket method. So they're wrapped in butcher paper. They were rested down, and then they were put in the fridge. And you can tell, like, just off the pit and rested. I have not even opened these to see how they look. This brisket I actually vac sealed because we're going to use the sous vide method on this one. So the only difference here is one is vac sealed and one is not. Whole briskets. So let's start with the first method, the sous vide method. We also get a fair amount of comments from people that frankly don't understand immersion circulators, and they just say, hey, that's basically boiling meat in a bag. No, it's not. This is one of the most famous cooking techniques in the world, and everyone should own one of these, whether it be for cooking or reheating. This is a great way to reheat food without drying it out. So this method is going to be very simple, and here you go. So if you can see in here close, you can see that there's some fat. As it was vac sealed, you can see the fat that was in the paper. You could have also poured tallow in this. If you had any leftover moisture from your cook, if you've panned it or foiled it, you can pour that in the bag. I vac sealed this with our Made with Meat vacuum sealer, the wide one. And what I've got here is a sous vide immersion circulator set up at 165 degrees. And it's been running for a while, so the water is actually 165. And that's how I'm going to reheat it. All I'm doing is dropping this in. The vac seal is important because it will have that meat sink to the bottom. If you put that in some sort of bag with air in it, it's going to float and you'd have to weight it down. Now, I'm going to let this run for a couple hours and you're completely safe and good to go. That simple. I probably will spin the brisket around during the cook. I'd put the point in near the machine. I'll spin it around later, halfway through the cook. But if you use an instant read thermometer to test the temperature of that bag, you only get one shot at that because you're going to put a hole in the bag. But this is an extremely popular method. I'm here to tell you, before you start being a naysayer, I often talk about my buddy Leonard down at Truth in Houston. He actually told me that he has taken briskets to food and wine festivals, very famous ones, where he was not going to be given a pit, and he's brought his briskets back to life like this. So if Leonard can take his world famous brisket around the country and do this, you know it's going to be awesome. It's going to take, probably 1.5 hours. I'm going to give it 2. You can actually let it go longer. You can go 3-4 hours. It's not going to get above 165 and you're going to be fine. So that's that on that one. We'll come back and test that at the end. So now let's get in to this other one. Maybe you don't have sous vide. Maybe you want to go a different route. That's fine. So here we have just the wrapped up brisket. I'm going to unwrap it. You could reheat it in this, by the way, in this paper. It does have fat on it. That could be a benefit. But I thought I would just open this up completely and just put it in a pan. That does not look so glorious in that state. We're going to reheat this in a pan. You could do it on a sheet pan. You could do it in this disposable pan. You could do it without a pan if you want. So with this method, I don't have as much fat in here. I don't have the fat that was in that bag. So I'm gonna add some fat, and that's gonna be in the form of some butter, some unsalted butter. Don't let this scare you. Butter is extremely common in barbecue. And yes, this is gonna melt off, but then the brisket is going to be sitting in that butter while it reheats. This is even simpler. You can do this on your smoker, your pellet grill, or you can even do it in your oven. But you know we don't cook inside at the meat church. So I'm putting this in a Traeger Ironwood 885 with meat church pellets. You know, I don't think the pellets are all that, like the flavor, not all that important because it's already smoked. This is running 225 degrees. I'm basically gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna, you know, let this go until it's an internal temperature of at least above 140 internal, and then we'll pull them both of them out side by side, let you see the differences. We'll talk about it, we'll taste it, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna put this in, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Okay guys, it's been exactly 2 hours on both the sous vide reheat and the pellet grill reheat. So let's see how we did. We're gonna see how they look, talk about it, slice them, compare them. All right, I'm gonna just slice this open, and I wanna preserve all the moisture that's in this, because that all came from that original brisket. Looks great. Looks like a Texas brisket. Feel free to wring any fat out. Hopefully you get it on the brisket and not all over yourself like I just did. All right. Now let's go over here to the Traeger. Man, this one's funny. The butter sometimes will slide off, but man, a lot of it just melted right on that brisket. So got some little yellow spots on there. And hey, same thing. Fat is flavor, my friends. I ain't here to help you lose weight, as I say. Ooh. It's better than buttered popcorn. Well, let's just take a second to look at these and talk about it. I bet you're first off shocked how good that sous vide brisket looks. Man, that thing looks awesome. And then this one was a little more narrow, but the bark looks great on this one as well. Let's temp these to see what they're at after that period of time. So I'll go right here in the flat. You see we're in the 150s on the sous vide. And a little bit warmer here on the one that we reheated on the pellet grill. So that's great. Just want to get them above 140 is kind of where I was going. And look, so, you know, this is tallow from the cook. Tallow's your friend on a block, or butter over here in this case. So feel free, you know, to dress up your brisket with that. Obviously makes it look super sexy for the gram. And then I'm just gonna get in here and just give her a slice. And I just want to come right up and show you guys, just obviously, I'm not going to squeeze it, the mountain of moisture. You can see the yellow fat here, so the brisket was cooked great. It's obviously incredibly moist coming out of the sous vide. I'm gonna go on the flat. So we know that the point is going to be super juicy, but let's just get in here more on the flat. I'm going to lay that out. Looks great. I'll try to set briskets up so they don't oxidize, but we'll just worry about that later. All right, let's get over here on the pellet grill reheat. Dude, that actually looks more juicy. That's probably just a product of the actual brisket, not the method, but that is very, very juicy as well. Get us a slice. So there's our two comparisons. I mean, the briskets are, I mean, they look identical, but let's get in and let's test these bad boys. Oh, I should have just popped this for you guys instead of sitting there and doing it with my knife, but you can see, you know, this little pull, still the same old brisket you had. Let's give the pellet grill reheat a little sample. I need a towel. It's very good. I mean, what you care about, obviously it's gonna have the same beefy flavor. You care about the moisture, and that method had it with the butter on top. And listen, that doesn't taste like a bucket of popcorn from the movies either, despite the fact that I put butter on it. So let's go in on the sous vide. Incredibly tender. I mean, maybe even a little more tender. Negligible difference, to be honest with you. Both methods were great. I want to go back to what I said earlier. I bet you guys were shocked at how good that sous vide brisket looked. I've often told people in barbecue schools that I teach, if that bark looked too wet for you for some reason, you could always, after this, you could go in to a smoker for a little bit to kind of firm the bark up, but I didn't. That just came right out of the water. We don't fake anything. We don't reshoot anything. It is what it is, and that's a great method. So if you don't have one of these, madewithmeat.com or wherever you want to get an immersion circulator, amazing tools, not only to reheat, but to cook meals during the week. Super tenderizing method on protein, so I love it. We've got a lot of recipes for to use those. But this was a great method as well. You know, I told you could have put it in your oven. You could do it in your pellet grill, however you want to do it, just nice, low and slow at 225. But here you go, 2 easy methods to reheat your brisket. And again, reminder, you didn't have to have a whole brisket. Let's say that you sliced and ate all of that and this is what was left. Again, vac seal this, put it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer, whatever you need to do. And then you can just employ one of these 2 methods and you'll be good to go. We'll put this in the brisket playlist on YouTube. If you guys like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. We're dropping weekly how-to outdoor cooking videos. We'll see y'all next week.